Hello, everyone. This is called How I Stopped Worrying and Learned to Love Reaper. Basically, I switched back to Reaper a few months ago. I've been, the last two Halcyon songs have been in Reaper. This is on my EP I've had to re record, and I will get to that. But this is on Reaper. But what happened was, is I was using Studio One, and they say, I forgot where I read, you're not supposed to like put it in like a drive. Like you're not supposed to load off of a drive unless it's theirs you're paying for. And so for a while I was thinking it was Google Drive and it was fine. But then I needed more space because my Google Drive is also doing all my photos and stuff and videos. So I got OneDrive because I kind of liked how OneDrive worked. But then the problem is Studio One, all the instruments and stuff are in that folder, and I didn't want to sync all that too. So what I did was I moved my OneDrive folder, I moved my Studio One folder, a lot of ones in there, to another area. And so there were some things I didn't like about Reaper, but I was thinking of coming back, especially with a lot of the new UI changes that I kind of like that fix basically majority of the problems I had with it. So anyway, I had to reset this computer, and everything was like that folder was backed up on Google Drive, and I've been using Studio One with many drives over many computers, Mac, PC, Mac laptop, PC laptop, and it's never like errored, but I always had the original folder on the computer. So I could pull it up off another computer, but I still had the original. And I think when I deleted this, whatever it uploaded to Google Drive, it was a few days. It was a while since I recorded, so it had plenty of time to upload everything. And I always check when I go, I'll look and see if it's uploading anything or whatever, like OneDrive 2. Like there's the, and it should have been uploaded, but when I went to grab it after I reinstalled everything here, I noticed files were missing, and I'm just like, I wonder if this is a thing to get you to spend their monthly, because that's what they're kind of more pushing, is to pay monthly, and I'm not into that. I like paying for something and owning, and I was doing that with Studio One, but I have a feeling that now that it's yearly, it's kind of like, okay, how long until it's just they get rid of that too, So, the couple things I didn't like about it was, and it's still there, but I'm getting used to it, is how on the folder tracks, the waveform is grayed out. And someone's like, oh, well, it's because there's nothing in there. It's just like, well, yeah, that's true, but other programs do it. And they put the gray thing here, just color it too. I don't get it. And especially like when you have the peaks, the colored peaks. I like the way that looks. This looks great. This doesn't. And then when I want to compact things, it kind of like it's all gray. But I'm getting used to it because you really just need it to see where you kind of are in the song. And then these spacers helped out a lot. These are like new where you can right click and like add a space on top or bottom or both. And that really helps me kind of distinguish. But I like the fact that it's such a lightweight program. And with Studio One, I was using mostly Kontakt stuff, right? And it's like, well, I usually buy Komplete every year, and like if there's a year where like they don't update Ozone or Guitar Rig or Kontakt, like I don't care, and I can skip that year because it's like I don't care. But like for Studio One, there's like it just feels like, oh, I can't I don't have the newest thing, I just felt bad about it. And so with Reaper, where you pay once and then you're covered for two versions, and that lasts for years pretty much, or so it seems. And yeah, and a lot of the stuff I didn't like about it, they've fixed. And like, I don't know if it's me. I think it's just me because, well, this isn't a Reaper plugin, but I do like. I'm starting to like all like how you can add effects or you can replace effects, all that stuff in this little window. And you can also like how I have this set up is if when you select a track, say this one, you can see the effects right there in the sentence. And then you can kind of just go like that, you know. And I really like that. It's like it's cool, you know, because like that's the one thing. Like, you know, I have to open up another window, wait for it to open, because Guitar Rig is a memory hog, I guess. Um, but yeah, so and it does everything that Studio One does. I can use, you know, Studio One comes with a lot. I think it's a great thing if you're going from like Logic to like from Apple to PC. You can just buy Studio One and it kind of has almost all the same things. Cakewalk does too. I wonder if that's still free. If so, I might give that another shot just to check it out. But its interface was just so busy. It just gave me a headache. But that one's another one that has everything in it. But yeah, this you know, you get your Easy Drummer, or with Halcyon I record Scott's drums, so that's not a problem. Don't need much for that. And you know, I've got Guitar Rig 7 Pro, which came with my complete bundle. And yeah, like a lot of the VST plugins. Oh, I guess it was blanked out. But yeah, there's like, here's EQ. So I don't know. I used to not like the EQ on, or not the EQ, but the way the VST looked on Reaper. And I don't know if it's just I got used to them or they improved the way they looked. But I think this looks fine. So I don't know. I kind of just I'm over it. You know. I think I'm finally kind of happy because you can run Reaper on a toaster. You can throw it on a USB drive, and you can run it on very low end hardware. And I mean, the VSTs are going to be using up most of the things. You know, most of the resources. So like this EQ is not. But like, you know, if you go to Guitar Rig, this is gonna, you got a few tracks of this and it's going to just slow down your system. Eventually I'm going to be miking all my guitars and bass and stuff, but you know, until then I'm going to be using Guitar Rig. But for real, like I think this is a great, you know, you can got a trial that you can kind of hold off from like not paying for, and it just annoy you a little bit, and then just get your own plugins. There's plenty of free plugins out there, and I kind of like the Contact stuff, the complete stuff from Native Instruments. But you can use whatever you want. Got Easy Drummer. Got the. Did I change the? I just got a new. Yeah, I did. This is the Post Metal drum set. So here, let me solo that for you. And I really love the way it sounds. And I got a Beats pack with a bunch of different stuff, like a post rock and all that stuff. And this came with, I think, a post metal MIDI pack too. But I got a lot of different ones. And then there's this one, I think it's called In the Pocket. Here, let me turn it off. I think the only thing you're hearing is through my mic. So sorry. I put on Restream, but it's not picking up on my input capture. And I was like, oh shit. And I was trying to figure it out, but I'm gonna have to watch a video on that. And maybe I'll make a video on that so I don't have to watch another video on that. I'll just watch my own. But yeah, I had it set up for one to do it, and yeah, so, but yeah, basically you just go to your master bus and you put your Restream, and maybe it's local broadcast. I tried local broadcast too, but I don't know what happened. I'll figure it out. I watched the video last time and got it to work, but you know, but that's what I like about this. And then they didn't used to have their own limiter back in the day, and now they have. I like their limiter. Like, here, let me unsolo the drums, and let's look at their limiter here. That's actually kind of low volume. Oh, maybe not right there. Yeah, there we go. But yeah, this is a great little limiter. I just set it -1. And then the cool thing about it, it has a low latency mode for when you're recording. Because like if you ever use like what's Ozark, not Ozark. Holy shit. This talk about having a brain fart. Add isotope ozone. Wow. If you ever use ozone, like a lot of times I'll have to bypass it because it causes lag. It uses so much resources. Where this one has a little high quality, low latency. So while you're recording, you can have it on low latency. And then when you're finally mixing, you can throw it on high quality or mastering or whatever. And I really like that. I think this is a great little limiter. And yeah, I'm probably gonna, when I'm at the final stages, I'll throw in ozone or Ozark or whatever. And yeah, but I think this is a good little. I think I've got a good little setup here. So I hope you enjoyed this. I'll see you guys next week and have a good one.